Hey guys, it's Linda Winter with another Christmas in July. This is the last of the 3 that we did this year. Martelly Enterprises did Tuesdays for the last 3 weeks, and Winter Designs, that's me, Linda Winter, I've done the last 2 weeks, and this is my 3rd one. Wrap It Up is what it's called. Okay, before we started on Wrap It Up, what I want to do is announce the 2 winners. And I want to apologize too for the confusion. If you've been following along with me, I normally do giveaways on Facebook, but lots of you say, I don't do Facebook. So I've done a giveaway for YouTube. And it was a bit confusing last week because Facebook, where I can pin a post, the latest one at the top of the page, wasn't letting me do that. So the post that was showing was one from a couple weeks ago, and you all had to scroll down to read, so I apologize. So I'm going to be doing another 2 giveaways, one for Facebook and one for YouTube, and I think it's going to let me pin to the top because I pinned this morning and it worked finally. So read below this YouTube video for directions to enter the giveaway, and read below the post that I post on YouTube or on Facebook that has myself, Shirley, and Beth, the 3 ladies, and you'll see Wrap It Up projects, and it'll say Wrap It Up. So anyway, thank you all for being here. First off, I want to announce the winners. I gave away 2 giveaways, one on Facebook last week. I did a Facebook giveaway and then one on YouTube. So I want to remind you of what the gifts are and then announce the winners. So I gave away to one winner my box bag bundle. The box bag is my large box bag, my regular box bag, and my fussy cup frame. And then I said I was going to include some fabric, so I did PUL, polyurethane laminate, wipeable, washable, breathable, oilcloth, wipeable, washable, not breathable. This white stuff grows on the back. Mayonnaise and all kinds of things. You know, if this sits out in the hot sun or it's in the trunk of your car for a long time, this stuff you can actually throw in the washer and dryer and it'll come out. So I've given you 2 of these, or one, whoever the winner is, and then 1 of these. And then I've given containers too, because this is going to make a cute little lunch bag. I showed it last week in the from the kitchen to the table Facebook giveaway, and so this was one winner. And then the other winner was going to be able to pick from my Microwavable Cozies. The Microwavable Cozies, I have 8 different sizes. There's a 15-inch, that's this big guy right here. And then I have, whoops, wrong bag. Then I have 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 12.5, the 15, and I also have a square. What makes these unique are those holes that give me consistent darts. This morning when we did the video with Shirley and Beth, Shirley made one of the baskets, one of the Microwavable Cozies, the larger size, last night, and she said it was just so much faster, so much easier because of the no-slip material in those holes. So I was giving away 2 of these, the package of Wrap and Zap, and 2 spools of thread. And last week when I announced it, I said the Facebook winner would get this and the YouTube winner would get that. And while doing my video this morning, Facebook Live, we filmed it earlier today, and I announced the winners there. I couldn't remember what was going to go where. So guess what? If you're my YouTube winner, then you can pick. Do you want the box bag bundle with the extra fabric and the kitchen stuff, or do you want the Microwavable Cozies? 2 cozies, you get to pick the sizes, batting and thread, or the microwavable, or the box bag stuff. So, who are my winners? My winners because I drew this right this morning, right before we started, to give everybody a chance. Kim Wright was my Facebook winner, and Sandy Kibbe, you're my YouTube winners. So if you guys see this announcement, either on Facebook or on YouTube, when I post it, call me. Sorry for the chicken scratch, 850-449-0259. Call me, or you can post on my Facebook, Winter Designs for Sewing and Quilting. If you're on YouTube, I would rather you call me rather than just post, but I will make a post on YouTube as well. And then next week, when I do my next drawing, the last drawing for the Christmas in July, I will do a Facebook Live. It's going to be next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So basically the same time that I did the Facebook, and then we'll do a quickie YouTube as well, and I'll announce the winner there. So what is the giveaway for next week? I'll tell you later. What I want to do is get started with all of this stuff. So first off, Wrap It Up. The concept of Wrap It Up is kind of many concepts. Wrap it up as in, if you're gonna give somebody a quilt, they can wrap themselves up in it. That's wonderful. I have several big quilts here that they can do that with. Wrap it up, put it in a pretty package that is kind of a theme oriented thing. That's the kind of thing I like to do. My mother, Martha Stewart, on steroids, she's a perfectionist. She does the most beautiful packages in the world. I got a little bit of her talent, not a whole lot. So my mother does these beautiful themed baskets, and I want to show you some of those today. So that's part of it. But wrap it up also means, hey, here's a great idea to wrap up the year. Wrap it up, we're wrapping up our Christmas in July, and this was a Kiddos and Critters project that Beth made. Beth wasn't able to come on the day that I did Critters and Kiddos, so she showed it this morning, and I just think it's adorable. So Beth used the my burp pad template, and the burp pad template just gives you this wonderful shape. You can see from the back how that is the shape. But when you add the ears, which is what she had here for a headband, which I love, you add the cheeks. This is felt that she used. She used felt up here for this. She used some cute little buttons, some sequins, the little dangle earrings that we've got out of Jingle Bells, and then she gave this kind of a sly grin. So Cindy the elf here is just adorable. She lined it. It's so cute with the binding on the top. You can do your own elf. It's really simple. She got the directions for the ears, or pattern for the ears, they go this way, off of the internet, and this does this. So when she did this, this was falling off your head, so she ended up putting a little bit of hot glue right along here so it would stay on your head. This is slippery and it tends to grab. So, and she also, when she stitched these on, she stitched all of this. There's foam inside, so it gives it that dimension. She added some here to stay on your head, and then she just slit that open and then glued on, so this stays on. What a cute gift to give with this little purse. So I saw, and she saw this for little girls, but I saw this for adults too. I mean, this is a really cute purse. Wouldn't you rock this at Christmas time? Maybe, maybe not. She stuffed it full of some goodies that little girls might like. You find their favorite cookies, you find their cute little trinkets. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. It's just something that a little girl would love. Don't you remember playing with all these cute little things and having a great time? So you can stuff it with all of those goodies. And if it is somebody older, then maybe it's a gift card, maybe it's a check, maybe it's some cash. And a little girl too would really appreciate that. That's done from the burp pad. So I love, this is the regular size burp pad. I do make a huge burp pad, and if you wanted to do one of these really big, imagine how big that was. You could hang that, you know, on your front door to welcome guests or whatever. But I just thought that was so cute. I want to go from the burp pad with the elf to another project that she did, and I want to point you to this and tell you what happens, best laid plans. So I've done number 1 through 24. You can see 1 through 4, and then I did 5 because I had too many. But imagine printing this out on fabric. You can print these out on fabric right through your printer, put some kind of a fusible on the back, use pinking shears to cut them up, and glue them onto the advent calendar. So she made this advent calendar using a really pretty fabric for the background, so all the stockings are gonna pop. And we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 24. And if you haven't done advent calendars before, the idea of making an advent calendar that kids can really enjoy to make it fun. Maybe you're putting in a little piece of candy or Hot Wheels or the lip gloss or whatever it is for little girls, but I ended up printing out from the internet. There's a bunch of different things that you can find. Drink hot chocolate by the fireplace. Well, maybe you don't want to do that if you're doing Christmas in July, and maybe you don't have a fireplace or you live in South Florida. Check out a new Christmas book to read. That means a trip to the library with Grandma. But all of these little guys here, I got from the internet. Buy a Toy for Tots, the Toy for Tots program. So these are all things that are part of the giving back to others, think about other people, doing something for somebody else. But if you go search Advent calendar ideas, you're gonna find a lot of things out, a lot of these kinds of things out there, and you can just go kind of create your own and then stuff them in there. But these guys here would be on each of those calendars. Now, when she made that, she used My Christmas stocking template. I love this template because it gives you a perfect stocking every single time. If you've made stockings before, they're kind of a pain, especially when they're this small. When Beth did it, she used a fusible that was stiff, so it was really more difficult to turn and to get them to look nice. You have to decide, do I want this to last for 50 years? Do I want this to last for this year? If it's this year, you can do felt, and actually felt probably would last longer too, but you can do a piece of felt on the top, piece of felt on the back, wrong sides together, stitch around the edge, and then snip with pinking shears, and then you can write your numbers on there or do the fabric numbers. That would be a really fast way. You don't have to do a lining. She did a lining, and Beth is a perfectionist, so everything was done really nice. But the stocking allows you to cut all those templates so they're all consistent. The fussy cut frame is for having any of those fabrics exactly where you want it to be. If you look down at this very bottom one here, she's done little Santa stockings. She said she really fussy cutted that, and that fussy cut frame made all the difference there. The grandma's gingerbread, there wasn't enough fabric to turn in the right direction, so she used that to have grandma's Christmas. But the idea of that fussy cut frame lets you figure out, let's imagine I have fabric here. Do I want this here? Do I want this here? You choose where it is that you want. I love the idea of having some kind of a saying, somebody's name embroidered, whatever it is. That goes inside. We would lift the fabric so we could remove that, and then that will grab, so when I go to cut, it makes it all fast and easy. Okay, so the advent calendar may be something that you would do, or maybe not. There's 24 that you need to make. She did a quilt backing. She added a little quilt hanger. If you want to, hang this here, you can put a dowel rod in there too. It's a quilt sleeve, so you can do that. She added a binding on there too. Totally up to you. But maybe you're not up for the advent calendar. You can make one stocking. Or depending on how many you want to give as gifts, the gift card goes inside, the check goes inside, the favorite piece of candy, the candy bar with a gift card or with a $5 bill rubber banded around it, you can do that. The other thing you can do with this too is if you have 6 people that are eating dinner, you can make 6 of these to match your table decor and put in your silverware in there. So the stocking really is versatile. If somebody's got glasses for the first time this year and Christmas time is when they're going to be seeing family members, then make one of these and they can put their glasses in there too. So it to me is a whole lot of fun. Martelly makes larger stockings. I'm going to pull over some of the stockings and show you a couple of those options just so you know. Martelly makes a large Christmas stocking. It's basically this, but it's bigger. It's much bigger. So this is Martelly's Christmas stocking. This is Martelly's Christmas stocking. You can see how big that is. So I had lots of people saying, it's too big, I don't want it to be that big. So I made a smaller one. You can see with the seam allowance how much smaller that would be. But the idea is if you're going to be stuffing a whole lot of stuff in here, then the stocking templates are really nice. So Martelly has a Christmas stocking. This is Winter Designs. I have the medium-sized Christmas stocking, and then I have a fussy cut frame for this one too, especially because you might want to do embroidery for this. Then Martelly makes an elf stocking, and then they make the dog stocking. I talked about these in the other video, so I just wanted to remind you. If you're going to be wrapping it up for Christmas, for people that love dogs or cats or kids or whatever, coffee, whatever, then stuff in there. That becomes part of the wrap it up. So this guy here, if you've got somebody that has pugs, then Pug Life fabric is available. If you have somebody that has schnauzers, schnauzer fabric is available. You can find fabric that has dogs or cats or whatever it is they're into and make stockings just for them. The paw stocking doesn't have to be just for dogs. The elf stocking, as cute as it is, you'll need to stuff that toe because it doesn't look so great just wimping around like that. Put a jingle bell on there. This isn't part of the stocking template, this guy here, so you can use cardstock or whatever and just cut that when you go to cut your fabric, or cut a piece and then basically cut in or stitch in when you go to sew. You can put jingle bells hanging on there too. So that's the elf stocking. What I like doing is using the stocking as, again, the stocking stuffer, stuff it full. instead of having just little tchotchke kind of gifts, put in really nice stuff inside of there. All right, so what I love about this stocking is it's a twofer. You've got the one side that it's not basic, but it doesn't scream a statement to you. When we flip it over though, you can see, boy, that's a real statement. This is the Day of the Dead De La Luna Tula Pink fabric that is so hard to find now, but one of my friends made this for me and I just love it. I just think this is so cool, and you can see she had to piece this because the fabric didn't come as a whole with this, but look at that beautiful job. She's added it feels like a foam inside of there, but what I did was kind of create a, hey, let's all match with color, but let's also kind of do a pamper yourself. So I have a coffee cup that is somebody that likes cold coffee or those, you know, frothy drinks. You've got the cup that has the straw, the lid, and then if they're really into coffee, you find a coffee nightshirt because they're everywhere. You can find those kinds of things and you can stuff this in there. So you put in whatever fits that personality. So I've got these in here. I also wanted to make an eye mask for somebody that's drinking the coffee and then needs to go take a nap. So this is an eye mask. This is a little bit different than most eye masks. You're not using the elastic around the back. This has a pillow and this is the pillowcase. From the template, you get those two pieces. This guy would go in the microwave. I like to get these. You have to shop around for these to fit inside of here, but this will go right inside and this goes in the freezer. So yesterday Lisa had a really bad migraine. This would have been perfect to go in here and to have her with this on her face lying down. This is going to be when you're on your back and you've got this on your face. This fabric should be fabric that feels good to your eyes, so I don't want it to be scratchy or anything else. What goes inside, I used a muslin and I just used a serger here. The reason why is this fabric needs to go in the microwave. Most likely, you're gonna have one for hot, and I like this for the cold. But this you give to somebody, and that becomes a really nice gift as well. So I have a coffee cozy to go around that coffee cup, because if it's a cold drink, it's gonna be sweating. And then put in a microwave bowl in there. So this bowl isn't the one that goes with this. When I got here, I couldn't find the one. So imagine that there's a bowl that's a little bit shallower that fits. But then you put in their favorite treats. Maybe it's a favorite soup or chicken noodle soup or whatever it is. If you want to bake something or make something for them too, that would be great to put in there as well. So I talked about this yesterday with Martelly, and there were several people that said, wow, where did you get this burlap? Well, it's not just burlap. This is a coffee bean bag. And the coffee bean bags, when you go shopping for them, they're expensive. You can find them. Every now and then you can find them on sale. I love using the stocking templates because I think that's just a really neat look, but you don't have to have it with the coffee bag. You can get burlap. The cool thing about this is with burlap and stencils and Sharpie markers, you can create your own coffee bag. You can see this isn't quite as dark as that, so imagine creating your own. Go look at pictures on the web, and if you're crafty at all, you have stencils, you can create your own family line of coffee if you're into that. This, I talked about this in from the kitchen to the table to go under your coffee mat, your coffee pot. These kinds of things you'll find all over the place. Stick in a box or a bag of their favorite coffee or a gift card, a coffee cup or a coffee mug, and this becomes a great gift to wrap it up for somebody that loves coffee. So that's a fun one to do. Martelly stockings, a whole lot of fun. My favorite template, though, you guys have heard me talk about it, is the box bag. The box bag template, you can see a piece, those points coming together. So from that point, here's a side, there's a seam right here, there's a side, there's a side. So 4 of those for the outside, 4 for the inside. You decide, do I want this to scream Christmas or do I want it more plain? If you're gonna do one that becomes a Christmas gift box, then they can use it every year over and over again. But if you want them to use it every day, then go with something more simple. You'll see some of those later on. I showed you guys in the Critters and Kiddos the apron that I did out of a towel. This little apron for a little kid with hot chocolate. Imagine I've got hot chocolate in here and give them their own coffee cozy. Now it's a cup cozy, a cute little doodad, all of this stuff in their own little storage box. It's a really great way to give to a kid. So it doesn't have to be a grown-up that loves coffee cozies, because now they're cup cozies. So that's a box bag, and it's a great way to put a gift together. Here's another one. This guy here is mermaids. So what I want you to think about is everything inside of this being mermaid related. If you're so coordinated, I love to think that I am, but I never am. I always run out of time. So I put in a few odds and ends for a little girl. Lisa and I did the very first Christmas in July, we did stuff for kids. And we had Stephanie's daughter dressing up as a princess, and she wore this crown. This is out of Martelly's square templates. Put in some socks that you already own, that these would go up to her hips probably. Put in your little doodads. This is actually a toy for a dog, but I thought it was super cute. Peppa Pig, no idea who this is, but my guess is kids will love it. And then Kleenex. Why? Because everybody needs a pack of Kleenex to blow their nose. This guy, if y'all have made these before, this fabric here is a little bit bigger than this fabric here. But what's a little bit different with the way that I do it now is this is perfectly fussy cut. Let me show you. There are actually 2 templates plus a fussy cut, and I couldn't find my other template for this. So let's imagine that I have 5.5 by 7.5. 7.5 is this way. 5.5 by 6.5, right about there. That 6.5 inch one is this one. And that's what this one goes to. So if I want her being perfectly centered, I use my fussy cut frame to get her centered. You can choose to do the box pleats if you want to. You don't have to, but this is great for your Kleenex. And by the way, if your Kleenex doesn't open up in the middle like this, you can choose to make this with the opening this way or over here, or you can just take a little pair of scissors and cut the opening this way instead of this way. So if this opening is going this way, just cut up this way so you can pull the Kleenex out that way. Little kids need to get in the habit of having Kleenex, so it's a good way to kind of get started. I showed you, I haven't shown you yet. So the coffee cozy, I want to show you that. Everybody has seen the coffee cozy most likely, but I just did a little coffee cozy with the Santa theme, and I love that. And here's the template itself and then the fussy cut frame. So I'm going to grab over another gift that I like to give. I love doing pamper yourself kind of gifts, pamper me gifts, those kinds of things. And again, you choose based on who that person is, your fabric choices, what kinds of things you're going to put in there. There are all kinds of things that you can buy. There are all kinds of things that you can make. I love doing a bag like this. Y'all didn't notice, but this, on the back side, you'd be able to see when it's in the gift, oh, I got a sneak peek of what's in here, and then this would be on the front side and this inside. So you kind of get the idea. It's a pamper me. The plastic here, this vinyl, this is store-bought. This stuff that I talk about using from your sheets and your towels and bedspreads and things like that, it's a thinner one, and it's probably not going to be sturdy enough for this to really last. If the goal is not for it to last, no big deal, then you can use that stuff that's already there. I showed you the eye mask before. I want to show you another eye mask, and I'm going to take this one out. Flannel, flannel. If you look at this one, I've done right sides together and then right sides together. Stitched those and flipped and turned. When this closes, I've got this pretty fabric here and this pretty fabric here. I don't actually have to do a piece of fabric here, and I don't have to do a piece of fabric here. I could simply stitch this to this and have raw edges that I would fold down and top stitch. So you decide how much time you want to spend on this. What I do want to point out though is this should not be flannel with flannel. Muslin, your any kind of quilting cotton fabric, something that's safe for the microwave with whatever material that's safe for the microwave, because the flannel gets stuck to the flannel and it's harder to manipulate. So imagine having material that goes in there a little bit easier. But this is your pillowcase, this is your pillow, this will go in the microwave, and again, throw in one of these because this fits in beautifully. This size here fits in perfectly with the template. And the template I don't have here, but the template is one template, and it makes the pillowcase and it makes the pillow. So that's a nice thing to be able to include. In the winter time, having that with the heat, and the summertime, having that with the ice. If you have migraines, that's a really good thing. This guy here, this is my hand mitt. The hand mitt is actually 2 pieces. I'm going to pull this over so you can see. There's this piece that makes the hand mitt, and then there's this piece that makes the pocket. You can choose to buy these together, or you can buy them separately. You don't have to have the pocket if you don't want to, but I like having whatever is going to go inside. Again, this can be for the microwave, or you can take that ice pack and put that inside of there. I'm having hot flashes right now, so I wish I had that ice pack to put inside and to cool my hands down. But imagine in the wintertime when you're cold, you put this in the microwave after you've been outside, and oh, does this feel good. Or if you're going on a long trip and that first, half an hour where you're just freezing, if you've stuck this in the microwave and put that inside of a cooler where it's gonna keep that heat, that becomes a really nice gift. So put all those guys in there and then give them a little cup with some nice little goodies, their favorite perfume or shampoo or whatever it is. And it's whatever you have on stock, and then make them a coffee cozy. Creative people are seldom tidy. I wish everybody that knew me knew that phrase, because that's what I'm going for. So that coffee cozy, all of this makes a really nice gift. And wrapping it up means I don't have to do anything except say, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Happy Mother's Day. Hey, I feel for you. It's been a tough week. Here's a gift. So wrap it up doesn't have to be just Christmas. Okay, let's talk dogs. We talked dogs before, but I didn't get to show you Lisa's Tasket basket. If you really want to give somebody a nice gift, the Tasket basket with this dachshund. The dachshund is this template, and we've done not Christmas fabrics. Here's the front of the dachshund, there's the back of the dachshund. You can do green or red, and the dachshund, put a little Santa hat on there, put the Jingle Bell collar, it's totally up to you. But the dachshund template is a fun one to play with, the Tasket basket. You can put something on here, but you don't have to. So I've got another Tasket basket over there. All of these projects are projects that I've shown before, I think. Here's another one of those tissue holders, so make sure, again, everybody needs to be carrying tissue, so make these for everybody. Again, the Microwavable Cozy that is now for their dog food, the doggy bandanas. I've shown you these projects from our other, but this is a great way for you to present this to whoever it is. Hey, Tina, can you tell me how much time we've been going?
26 minutes.
Okay, so we're gonna do this basket, then I'm gonna stop, and then I'm gonna do part 2 like I've been doing. Okay, so Christmas. I think this is a great gift for somebody that has just graduated, somebody that has moved out of the house, they're 37, it's time for them to move out. For somebody that's spending their first Christmas alone. They usually go home, but because of COVID, they can't, or maybe they can't afford to. Somebody that is home by themselves for the first time. If it's somebody that's been in their own home forever, they've got their own stuff, but make them some new stuff with new memories. We showed most of these things. I think pretty much everything I've shown you from one of the other Christmas in July's, but all of these projects are such fun to do. My last YouTube, actually, I didn't show you this. This was on Facebook, but it wasn't on YouTube. This is done from a 7x9 rectangle. You could do the 8x10 rectangle as well, but it's a hot pad. And this hot pad, you can put a little clip on there if you want to, a little loop on there. You can put the no-slip material on there. You can put the iron quick material on there so it becomes a hot plate as well. But isn't this adorable? Beth created this, and she just used another piece of fabric to create an envelope, and I just think that's so cute. You could personalize this by putting somebody's name and address on there. If it's from grandma to a little girl that's learning to cook, how cute would that be? So all of those things in a Tasket basket would be so nice. This, she's got poinsettias. This is one that Lisa made, and then over here you can see the red and the glitz, but you don't have to do that. You could do Christmas on one side, Thanksgiving on the other, because this really is reversible depending on how you finish that up. Okay, so we're gonna take a little moment of break, and I'm gonna start filming my second video with a few more ideas. I've got several around, and I'll start off on the next video by announcing what my next giveaway is gonna be. Thanks for watching.